Welcome to the Explainer. Every app you use, every website you visit, it's all part of this massive digital world. Today, we're showing you the actual blueprints for how it's all built.
Our entire world runs on code, right? But how does a simple idea become a complex app on your phone? We're going to trace that whole story, starting with the original, surprisingly simple blueprint that kicked this whole thing off.
So our story begins with the original blueprint for our digital city. Back in the early days, the pioneers needed a structured recipe to turn a big idea into a system that actually worked. Kind of like how an architect drafts a super detailed plan before a single brick gets laid.
And that blueprint is called the System Development Lifecycle, or SDLC for short. It was developed way back in the 1960s, and its whole goal was to tame the chaos of early computer projects. It did that by creating a strict, step-by-step process that brought some order and predictability to building something new.
The core idea here was to treat software development just like a factory assembly line. You start with the problem, then you move methodically through each stage, analysis, design, implementation, in a really strict order. And get this, you couldn't move to the next step until the previous one was perfectly complete.
Now, a key checkpoint in that process is the feasibility study. This is the big reality check. Before anyone writes a single line of code, the team has to prove the project is actually a good idea. Is it technically possible? Will people even use it? And probably most importantly, is it going to be worth the cost?
But that rigid assembly line approach had a big problem. The real world is messy. So a new philosophy started to emerge, which you can see over here on the right. Instead of a strict plan, methods like prototyping focused on speed and collaboration, getting a rough version into users' hands as fast as possible, and then adapting based on what they said.
Okay, let's move to our next era and see how this all builds up. As individual systems started connecting to each other, our digital world totally transformed. It went from a collection of separate buildings into this bustling global metropolis of information. And that brought incredible new opportunities, but also brand new dangers.
And just like any city, this digital metropolis has a dark side. Cybercrime just exploded. As you can see here, criminals could either attack the digital infrastructure itself or, even more cleverly, use that same infrastructure as a weapon to do other illegal things. This basically sparked a constant war between the city's builders and its saboteurs.
The creativity of these digital criminals is pretty stunning. You've got Trojan horses, malicious programs disguised as harmless gifts, and then you have the salami technique, which is just a genius name for a devious crime, stealing money in tiny, almost invisible slices from thousands of accounts at once.
So, to defend the city, security experts created a strategy built on three core pillars. Availability. Can you get into your bank account when you need to? That's the light switch. It has to work. Integrity. Is the balance in that account correct? That's the lock on the vault. And confidentiality. Can anyone else see that balance? Well, that's the secret password. And that brings us to the modern day, the third era, where a wave of disruptive technologies is completely rewriting the rules. It's like a new style of futuristic architecture has arrived, and it's transforming our entire digital city skyline.
The first new skyscraper is big data. And this isn't just more data. Think of it this way. Volume is the sheer size of the ocean. Velocity is a tsunami hitting the shore every single second. And variety is that wave containing not just water, but sand, photos, videos, and sensor readings all at once.
So why do we care about this data tsunami? Because hidden inside it are crucial patterns. By analyzing all that information, we can do incredible things. Predict disease outbreaks before they happen, optimize a city's traffic flow in real time, or understand exactly what customers want. The next game changer is artificial intelligence, or AI. These are systems that don't just follow instructions. They actually mimic human intelligence to learn and to reason. And here's the critical part. They get smarter over time, improving on their own as they collect more data.
And AI is no longer science fiction. It's the silent partner working alongside us every single day, detecting security threats, helping doctors spot cancer on scans, and powering the smart assistant in your pocket. The goal isn't to replace humans, but to amplify our own abilities. Then there's the Internet of Things, or IoT. This is where our digital city physically connects to our real world. We're embedding sensors and internet connectivity into everything, our cars, our refrigerators, our watches, and allowing them all to talk to each other. And this creates a world where our environment can anticipate and respond to our needs.
Think of smart homes that manage their own energy use, wearable devices that monitor our health and can alert doctors, or even smart farms that track soil conditions to grow better crops.
Our final piece of future architecture is blockchain. Imagine a digital record book for transactions, but instead of one person or one bank holding that book, a copy is given to everyone in the network. To make a change, everyone has to agree, making the record transparent and virtually impossible to cheat.
Cryptocurrency made blockchain famous, but that's just the first chapter. The real power here is in creating systems built on trust. Think about a supply chain where you can track an item from the farm all the way to your table, or a voting system where every ballot is secure and publicly verifiable. That's the potential.
So, from a simple, structured blueprint to a sprawling global metropolis of interconnected, intelligent, and disruptive technologies, our digital city just continues to evolve at a truly breathtaking pace.
Which leaves us with one final question. In this powerful and complex digital city we've built for ourselves, who or what is really in control?